All right, we're live. Sunday's Media Football Show, Week 16. Little Christmas action going on today. Week 16. We got 2 games tomorrow on a Saturday, 5 p.m., 8:20 p.m., and then full Sunday slate. And then, of course, we have Monday Night Football. How are we all doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Peachy. I feel like I haven't been here in a month. I'm sorry, boys. I miss you guys. I'm happy to be back.
Good to have you.
I feel great.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the best. Nothing like it.
Well, listen, one half of you is doing pretty good right now.
Jets are done. I mean, they have Aaron Glenn, so they're nothing.
Yeah, but we're talking about the cardiac cats down in Duval County.
Yeah, that's what's
They're
fun.
looking good. Liam Cohen win Coach of the Year.
They got to win on Sunday. That's how it goes. You know, you just got to keep winning every week. Once you're good, you just got to win 1 week at a time.
You almost don't want to have your coach win Coach of the Year when you really think about it. It's like
they always suck the next year.
You look at like the past couple of like Bill Belichick. I don't think ever won it. Andy Reid hasn't won it since like 2002. Like you don't like. I used to just petition for Dan Campbell, and I mean he shouldn't win it this year. But I'm at the point of like, I think you just don't want your coach to win Coach of the Year. And I think regardless, it's probably going to be either Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel, depending on who takes their division.
It usually means that you brought a shitty team back, and you know what? It depends how it went down. You know, with the Jags and the Patriots and the Bears to a degree, they all had pieces there, and they got the coach and they were able to elevate it. I think with some previous coaches of the years, i.e. Daboll and the Giants in 2022, you know, it was just they fucking fell ass backwards into a playoff spot and Daboll into a Coach of the Year. You know, it was basically on the back of Saquon Barkley and a dumbed down offense that Daniel Jones somehow made sense of. So it doesn't always mean bad things, but it all depends.
And I think Dan Campbell would have ended up winning that had the Seahawks lost.
Yeah.
Because the Lions beat the Packers week, whatever it was, 18. I think if the Lions ended up in the playoffs, Dan Campbell would have won that award. But
yeah,
we're starting off tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eagles travel to Washington. And then after that, maybe the best game what would have been, I think, the best game of the weekend in Packers-Bears.
I still think it is.
No Micah Parsons, like it could be, but so much of what the Packers do defensively is predicated on Micah Parsons being on the field. And if he's not there, they have no Kenny Clark. That hurts their run defense. Like I think, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm usually wrong, but I think the Bears are just going to steamroll the fucking Packers here. Like Packers are down Christian Watson. They're running out of guys. Tucker Kraft went down with a torn ACL a couple weeks ago. Like they're running out of guys to throw to. The Packers are you know they're desperate at this point. And is Toyotathon still going on? Because once Toyotathon's over, Jordan Love forgets how to throw a football again.
It's almost as if it didn't start. Yeah,
Jordan Love the last week of Toyotathon.
Okay, so this is the last possible week. I'm
through the end of the year.
I am. Obviously, selfishly, I am rooting for whoever loses this game to lose one more game.
Yeah, because that's your spot.
That's our spot.
Would be your spot.
The Lions' only way in at this point is San Francisco losing out, which isn't going to happen. The Bears losing 2 of 3, or the Packers losing 2 of 3. San Francisco is easily going to win. They're probably going to win out, but they'll at least win 2 out of 3 here. They have the Colts, the Bears, the Seahawks. I mean, I guess they could lose 2 there.
It makes more sense for you to wish that the Bears lose because then it's all it's in your hands because then you play the Bears week 18.
I'm wrong. If San Francisco wins 1 game, they lock in a spot over us because they would have the better conference record. So San Francisco has to lose out, which they won't. They're not going to lose to the Colts. What'd you say, Bass? I
was saying you want the Bears to lose tomorrow because then you have your own destiny in your own hands.
Yes.
You know? If you win out, you make the playoffs.
Yes.
That's it. You know, so You want the Bears to lose, if anything. I don't think they are. I think it's going to be the
Yeah.
Packers. And the Packers team is taking a big hit. This is a team that is good, has some talented pieces, but they are getting injured at the wrong possible time. And it's going to hurt them. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, I think we glossed over it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Eagles, Commanders. I think the Eagles are going to just maybe they won't blow them out. Maybe they won't cover the spread. The spread's at 7, but I think we all feel pretty comfortable about the Eagles winning tomorrow. Yeah.
Listen, don't get too far ahead of yourselves here. I can easily see an upset.
I could see an upset in the Packers beating the Bears. Like that could happen.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Commanders beat the Eagles.
Jaden Daniels is out. Marcus Mariota trying to beat the Eagles defense is just not going to happen.
How does Al Michaels say it? Mariota?
I believe so, yeah. That's Facino's favorite guy. Al Michaels.
I'm Team Mariota too.
Yeah, he's the fucking worst. He'll be gone next year. When he retires,
He'll be the Jets
he'll be
quarterback
best
next
ever.
year.
Wait, Al Michaels or Mariota?
Al Michaels. Mariota. Who cares?
Nah.
Al
Mariota's going to have a job in the NFL for a long
He
time.
ruins every
Yes, he is.
every
Yes,
single night game is ruined by him. I can't believe people.
I think if Al Michaels wasn't Al's problem is he's just not sharp anymore.
He doesn't want to be there. His voice sucks. It's like, all right.
I
so you
disagree.
fucking
I
don't wanna be
love
there,
the dude's
bro?
voice, man. I could listen to Al Michaels tell me bedtime stories every night to go to bed. I love
I
Al
hate
Michaels.
him. Yeah, I actually could listen and put me to bed too, because that's what he does every fucking day. I fell asleep in the fourth quarter last night. Down 8. I fell asleep.
At least you
He's
made it
an
in the
old
fourth
man.
quarter. I fell asleep at
Lullabies in the
halftime.
booth. Pathetic.
I
I
mean,
mean, while you brought it up, I mean, last night's game. I mean, can you believe them overturning that what was called an incomplete pass, and they blew it dead on the field to call it a backwards pass, which resulted in a fumble, and they were able to recover it for the 2-point conversion to tie the game.
Yeah, the rules are the rules.
I don't want to hear about incomplete passes and the Rams getting screwed over. That touchdown pass to Colby, whatever his name is,
Colby
last
Parkinson.
week, Colby Parkinson, when he dropped it 3 different times and then
then
just
they
recovered it in the end zone. And the NFL's explanation is just I don't know, man. Either at this point, just do if you're gonna call I was speechless when I saw that, right? Because the only thing that made any sense from that catch was maybe you're going to call him down at the 1, which I wasn't as mad about because I knew that they were if they were down at the 1, the Rams were going to score anyway. But to come out on TV and say, well, he lost control of the ball and regained it in the end zone. If the ball touches the ground, it's dead. That's known that if you try to catch a ball and the ground helps you recover it, the play is dead. That's it. So for the NFL to go to play and then come out and say, well, he lost control but regained it in the end zone, that was such a slap in the face. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Lions would have won that game had that been overturned and it was an incomplete pass, but it's just so frustrating that we go to replay and I'm sympathetic in that I understand that we need to have overwhelming evidence. I fully agree with that. If you're going to overturn a call, it should be overwhelming in the replay that we could see what the play was. And I get that. But to go to replay, see that the ball clearly touched the ground, see that it's a clear incomplete, and then to come out and basically admit, well, that it was incomplete, but then he recovered it in the end zone. That's such a slap in the face to us. And we all have these great angles. We're all watching on 4K or LED or QLED fucking TVs or on a phone that's in 4K. And then you're going to sit there and just fucking lie to us and say, well, he regained it in the end zone. That's bullshit, man. That is such nonsense. And I guess we would have lost anyway. Our defense sucks, but it just sucks when you feel like any momentum is just stripped from you.
No. I hear
Yeah,
you.
the refs will always burn you, but the thing is, you got to be good enough for the refs to burn you, and then you get that call back, and then to even out. That's what it is. Like with the Jaguars, every year it's like we get fucked by the refs, but now it's like we're still getting fucked by the refs, but it's not that big a deal because we're good enough for.
Doesn't hurt you in the end.
You can bounce back and win those games. Yeah,
Exactly.
You're not relying on those calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they give you them. Like you get a call. Is it going to be as good of a call? Sometimes the calls that they give me calls or the makeup calls, they're not always even, but like you'll get the makeup call. They normally do make up, for bad calls, which I kind of respect because like I don't think it's their fault. I don't think it's a rigged sport, but I think like the officials get put in spots where it's like, fuck, not perfect. Let's give them a holding call. Stall them on a drive.
You see that frequently, and I mean, it just for like the Rams to come out of that game with no penalties. It's the same time as when we lost to Kansas City. Like Kansas City came out with no penalties. Like really, you didn't see a single holding, a single false start, anything. You didn't see anything that team did for 60 minutes that warranted a flag, but you saw 7 flags for us. Like that's fucking crazy. I think all I want out of an officiating crew is just consistency. Like if you're walking into a game and like these guys are flag happy, fine. I don't like it, but fine. I'll take that because I know that's how these guys are. Or you're walking into a game and hey, these guys, they'll let you play and there's going to be a lot of pass interference that aren't called. Fine. Backyard football, no problem. I'll accept that. Like if that's how this game is going, it's the same thing in baseball. You have an ump with a wide strike zone. Like I'll accept that. That's how he's calling the game. I don't like it, and I'm all for the automated strike zone for that fucking reason. But where we live right now, that's fine. But when you see these refs like with these just lopsided games, like the NFL, if the NFL really, and this is the end of it because we got to move on to the Sunday slate.
Yeah.
If the NFL wants to clean up anything. Like if they want to clean up their act in anything, right? Because like they focus so much on like domestic violence and like you can't control. You have boneheads in the league, and that's always gonna.
And celebrations. Don't forget celebrations.
Celebrations, whatever though. Like let them celebrate. Like I don't know. There's a lot less football fans that are genuinely offended by these celebrations. What guys want is consistency and transparency. Like that's what everybody wants across the board. And I think you have to find a way to make the officiating in this game better. You just do. And that doesn't like the easy thing to say is just, well, make the officials better. Well, that hasn't worked. That's a really hard thing to do. But if we could just implement, whether it be better camera angles or, I mean, I don't know how at this point we don't have something in the ball to show us if the player broke the plane or not. Like, I don't know how that's not a thing. I mean, how many times does, a guy...
they have it for soccer, so it's possible. Like
it's possible, but I don't know when we're going to hit a point where we get it. I don't know, but like, that's so frustrating. Like pretty much any rush at the goal line is going in. Like if you're at the 1, unless you're clearly stopped, they're going to call it a touchdown. And then it's going to go to review and they're going to say, well, there's not enough evidence to overturn. Yeah, no shit, because you've got 10 guys in the middle that are 300 plus pounds on both sides. So yeah, unless you have an x-ray machine, you're not going to see between those guys. That's the one thing the NFL needs to clean up because like every play at the goal line is a touchdown.
I think they should revert to I think they should go back to the old school way and not rely on replay. Fucking human error, man. You miss this call, you get that call.
The problem, then you have to go back to like 780p on televisions, and
I know.
So.
We see from every angle. So
yeah, that's the problem. Like you broke open Pandora's box.
I'm big in the camp of I believe that instant replay is ruining all sports. I think it's heavily relied on. Before we move on, I just want to ask the group a quick question before we move to Sunday.
Your camera's off, Jerry.
Oh, my bad. Quick question. Primetime games. So I can't figure out. So I just turned 30. I just turned 30. I'm 6 months, been 30, whatever. 30. We're getting up there. these games, they start at 8:30. And I've always loved primetime football. Sunday Night Football is one of my favorite slots. Monday Night Football I enjoy as well. And as of late, I haven't been able to stay up past halftime. And what I've noticed is that the commercials are just too goddamn long. And I've been standing on my soapbox screaming about this to anybody who wants to listen for the past 2 weeks. And they are just dragging out these games. And there's nothing we can do about it because money's money. But I wanted to ask the group, is it me? Or is it like a legitimate problem where these games are being dragged out because of all these commercial breaks and all these ad breaks and all these timeouts and everything that goes along with the games? Or
I think it's a legitimate problem. I think they just start them too late. I mean, there's no reason that these games, especially Sunday night when the West Coast has off, that this doesn't start the minute the afternoon slate ends. Like Sunday night should start at 7:30.
I don't know about 7:30. I like the buffer of recapping the day, but I think 8 o'clock. There's no reason to start
for us that have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's impossible to watch a whole game, and and it doesn't start until 8:25, 8:30 as is. So it's like you're looking at best 10 o'clock halftime, if not 10:15.
Yeah,
Monday night, I kind of get it, but it has to start.
It's just too much at the prime time. I'll be honest with all of you here. The only prime times I really watch are games that implicate the Lions, and at this point, the Lions. I'm with you, Bass. I got to be up at 4, so the melatonin's kicking in before they even kick off. I
didn't watch the second last night.
Yeah, between having a kid and being up at 4, for work, I'm zonked before 9 p.m. every night. We cater to the West Coast. My only assumption is that the West Coast accounts for so much viewership that they just have to do this. We saw baseball move back. It's possible that football can too. Baseball moved Sunday Night Baseball back. Sunday Night Baseball used to be, someone's fucking with their mic. I don't know who that is, but Sunday Night Baseball used to be an 8 o'clock or an 8:20 start, and they moved it back to 7:30. I think that would be perfect for the NFL. I also like the buffer zone, but I could do without it if that means that I could watch half of the Sunday night game or 3/4 of it. So, and when it comes to commercials, it's ultimately there's this many commercials because the NFL is that popular and football is that popular. If hockey was as popular as football was, we would have a break every 8, 10, 15 minutes in hockey. It just they would find a way to do it because that's what funds the sport. I hate to break that to anybody, but that's what it is. And we have this many commercial breaks in football because it's really popular and they can get away with it. And this is what fuels the new stadiums. This is what fuels all of this media and everything that comes with the league. And so I agree. It sucks. You could definitely cut these games down to probably 3 hours flat, and they can't because there's that much need for commercials because everyone's willing to pay unless you just up the price. I don't know how you fix that problem, but like I said, if hockey was a more popular sport than women's college volleyball, you would have just as many commercial breaks in hockey. You see it in baseball, you see it in the NBA. It's just what it is. Watch a regular season, NCAA men's basketball game, and then watch a March Madness game, and look at how much more commercials you have. It's just viewership. It's just that's what it is, and that's why Notre Dame. This is a conversation for another day. It's not for tonight, but this is why Notre Dame is sitting out. And it's not because that they're not in the college football playoff. It's about that and ESPN. You're profiting off of us. So you put us in a bowl game, but you didn't want to put us in the playoffs. So you're happy to take that money for the bowl game, but you wanted to put a lesser team in. That's their mentality. I get where they're coming from.
Yeah, but they're losers, though. They're such losers, Notre Dame.
Crybabies.
If they wanted to be in the college football playoff, they could have beaten Miami. Instead, Miami because they're losing.
At the end of the day,
when you
Notre
lose,
Dame,
you're out.
Notre Dame should be in a
so
conference.
Obvious.
Notre Dame should be in a conference. That's
if
my
they were in
stance.
a conference, they probably would.
That would make things a lot better for them. And if those pussies were just in the ACC, they'd probably win it every year and they'd go in. But that's a conversation for another day.
the conversation that's had is why is Alabama in without winning the Big Ten or the SEC? I'm
SEC.
sorry,
They
SEC.
have the most impressive wins.
Doesn't
and
matter.
best
Doesn't matter. There's teams that
You
won
know why
the
Alabama's in? Because of viewership. Because if Alabama
100%.
was UTSA or
They were a one-loss
Oklahoma
team,
State,
though.
this
They
would
were
be
a
a-
one-loss team. Nobody else was a
Alabama?
one, or they were a two-loss team,
I think
but
three.
they were in the SEC championship, which means that they were the second. They were dominating in the
Alabama
SEC.
was
They
a
beat Georgia
3-loss team, by the way.
because they lost in the championship game.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Notre Dame doesn't play in.
Yeah, so
No,
Because
fair.
they're
I'm
not in
not
the
saying
conference.
Notre Dame should get in. This isn't a college football show, but you can't say that you're getting in because you're winning the conference, and then say, "Oh, Alabama lost; they're still getting in the
But
conference." You can't do that.
you have to
just
also
can't.
understand the stance of Notre Dame here in them saying, well, you picked us to play in your bowl. Like, if you really thought lesser of us, you would have put us in something else. You wouldn't have jumped all over the rights for our game. You could have, like, NBC or somebody else could have aired our game, but you chose to jump all over and be the highest bidder for our fucking bowl game because you know we bring in ratings. So that, once again, argument for another day.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We're doing
Sunday
NFL.
football.
Sunday slate. Sorry to get on a tangent.
AFC East got a little choppy last week. Was supposed to be the Patriots.
Bills are going to win that division.
It was supposed to be the Patriots hat and t-shirt game Sunday. Bills ended up winning, spoiling the party. Essentially, the way it works out is that if the Bills win out, the Patriots have to beat, I believe, both of the Jets and Dolphins.
yeah, so this game doesn't mean anything. For
The Ravens game is pretty much irrelevant. Yeah.
which is
Not
perfect for
really.
the Ravens, so that they can make the playoffs.
If it is more or less the only way it's relevant is if Buffalo loses to Cleveland tomorrow and the Patriots beat the Ravens. Then the Patriots just have to win one of their last two. But if both the Pats and Bills win on Sunday, then the game was irrelevant. If the Pats really
Absolutely.
don't have to. They Sunday is if the Bills win tomorrow, what time are the Pats on? The Pats are on at 8:20. So if the Bills win at 1 tomorrow, the Pats really don't have to try to win this game against the Ravens.
Really?
It doesn't make a difference. No.
Conference
No.
record?
Doesn't matter.
Or
It
division?
it doesn't matter. The Pats have one more win than the Bills this year, right now. Right? Yeah. Pats are 11-3. Bills are 10-4.
Yeah.
So
And the Patriots are clearly going to beat the Jets and the Bills, or the Jets and the Dolphins. It's a joke.
I mean, if the Bills,
Brady
the
Quinn,
Bills,
man.
the Bills play the Browns and they play the Eagles and Jets. So I guess hypothetically, the Ravens game still does matter a little bit. But I think the Bills are going to end up. I think the Bills are going to end up winning out. I think they'll beat the Browns. I think they'll beat the Eagles. I think they'll beat the Jets.
I think the Patriots lose one of these 3 games. I don't know which one they're going to lose, but they would lose one of them.
I would
think the
say if
Bills
they're
win the
going to lose
division.
one of them, it's probably going to be tomorrow. I think
don't know. The
I
Ravens
think the
just
Ravens
look
are playing hungry.
terrible right now. You say that every week, and they just look worse and worse. I mean, they came out, and I don't even think they won last week. I think the Bengals just shit down their own leg. Like Lamar looked bad.
It was
everything-
24-0. I feel like they won. They won.
They played well, but oh my god.
I don't know how well Lamar plays against a legit defense. You know,
Well, Patriots defense is a little banged up right now.
It is.
They're missing Milton Williams.
better than the Bengals, and Lamar did not
yeah.
play well against that defense. So
Yeah. This is a bad year for Lamar. I think he's definitely clearly playing hurt. I need the Ravens to be relevant because if
they
they,
play the
could,
Packers, right?
they play the Packers next week.
Yeah.
So I don't care about what happens to them this week. And ultimately, I need the Lions to beat the Steelers, or else all this doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But if the Lions beat the Steelers, and then the Ravens win this week or they win next week, it's at the end of the day they're playing the Steelers anyway, week 18. So the Ravens need to win one of these 2 games here.
Yeah,
and
they need
if
to just keep pace.
Steelers, they're in.
Keep
The
pace
Ravens are
with
going to
the-
play hard down the stretch, so it doesn't matter.
and then that'll be the Sunday night game
Yeah,
I think so
for
too.
Week 18.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
I agree.
I think-
Unless
The Bears and Lions matters.
Well, I think that's going to have implications because the Bears, like the Bears have to play. The Bears play the Packers. They go to San Francisco and then they play us. I feel like they're going to lose one of these two games. I don't think they're losing to the Packers, which I do think it is weird though that this game is in Chicago and the Bears are only 1.5 point dogs. I'm sorry, 1.5 point favorites, and you get 1.5 points for being the home team.
So it's a pick. So it's a pick, essentially.
It's a pick 'em game, which I think is kind of surprising.
There's a vast difference between going to Soldier Field and going to Arrowhead or going to Lambeau for that matter.
No, but it's just the standard Vegas. That's what they do. The home team automatically gets 1.5. So what Vegas is telling you is that if Packers Bears was being played at MetLife Stadium, for example, it'd be no favorites. It'd be 0. There'd be no spread, which is like kind of wild because the Packers are coming in here banged up. The Bears, I don't think, are dealing with that many injuries. So
no, the Bears just can't beat the Packers. I think that's what it comes down to. I think it comes down to a historic, just whatever trend, if you will.
I mean, but so much of this year has challenged history. I don't know about all around the league. But, I mean, in terms of the Bears were a fucking sorry-ass team for a long time, and they're flirting with the 1 seed here. They're probably not going to get it because at this point you've got the Rams and Seahawks too far ahead. But, I mean, the Bears are a potential division winner here, which I think most people didn't have. Most people had Green Bay or they had Detroit, which is still crazy. Like, think of this scenario.
You can still win the division.
That's insane. That's insane that the Lions are at 8 wins here. They've got to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. But there's a world where the Packers, let's say the Packers lose out, they're out of the picture. The Bears could lose 2, one, they could lose tomorrow, win the following week, lose to us, and all of a sudden we won the division when we've been in 3rd place pretty much since Halloween. Whatever it was, Halloween, 2nd week in November. Like, that's insane. The NFC is so tight. Like, it's crazy that we're talking about scenarios where an 11-win NFC team is not going to make the playoffs. Like that we're living in that world where an 11-win NFC team, actually, that's what's going to happen. In all likelihood, an 11-win NFC team is not going to make the playoffs. However, you've got what? You've got, like, at this point now, you're not going to have a 9-win team in the AFC, but, like, you might have a 10-win 7 seed in the AFC. Probably not. You probably have an 11-win, but, like, you're not going to have an 11-win team in the AFC that doesn't make it. You know?
Yeah.
No, you win 11 games, you're in the AFC. You need to ensure that spot. You need to either be in the NFC South or in 12 games to get into the playoffs. Guarantee it, rather.
And the NFC South is just like they don't want to have a winner. Like I mean, last week was the perfect opportunity for the Carolina Panthers to insert themselves and take hold of the division, and they couldn't fucking win. They couldn't win against a bad Saints team. The Buccaneers are still very much alive. Mike Evans just got back. If you asked me last week, I think we talked about it, Casino. I was all over Carolina. I thought Carolina was winning this division. After the way everything looked last week, like I have no idea. I kind of want to flip back to Tampa Bay.
They play each other twice, right?
They play each other twice. They're playing each other Sunday, I believe, right? Yeah, they play each other Sunday, and then they're going to play again week 18.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, no one's out of that NFC South, right? The Saints are still mathematically alive. I know the Falcons are.
The Saints are out.
They are out? Okay.
The Saints are
I know
out.
they're what? The Bucks are 7-7 leading the division?
The Falcons are eliminated too because the Falcons are 5-9. With last week's loss, they are eliminated. Yeah, because Tampa's 7-7. So the worst they could be is 7-10, I guess. But
the Falcons could be.
It says Falcons are eliminated, so they're
I didn't realize the Bucks were 7-7.
The Bucks are 7-7, and the Panthers are 7-7.
Yeah.
which is insane. It's so
Yeah,
insane.
that's
I think
wild.
the winner of tomorrow wins the NFC South. I think the NFC South
Oh, okay.
is
That's why.
is at this point, like unless we're going to see Seahawks 2010 all over again, I think the winner of the NFC South is irrelevant because whoever has to go there, whether it be San Francisco, LA,
Licking
or
their chops.
Seattle, they're gonna fucking steamroll them. And I also think that the seeding this year is not conducive to how good the teams actually are. Right? Like, so like the 1 seed in the NFC is going to earn that 1 seed, right? But I think when you look at the 2, 3, and 4, the 2 seed in all likelihood is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I think any team that is going to be a wild card team, whether that be the Bears, whether it be the Packers, the Lions, the 49ers, the Rams, the Seahawks, any one of those teams, whoever it is, I think is going to walk into Philly and beat them. I firmly believe that. I think Philly,
I'm with you on that.
Philly is mentally lost. I think that is a problem of the locker room. And I don't have faith in the direction. I think that Philly is going to end the regular season strong. Like I think they'll win 2 out of 3 here, just because it's an easy schedule. But I think whatever wildcard team is going to beat them. I think whoever walks into the NFC South is going to beat the shit out of them, right? Whether that's probably going to be. I mean, the 49ers still have an opportunity to be the 1 seed, but it's going to be an NFC West team that has to go to Tampa or to Carolina. I think they're going to beat the shit out of them. And then that leaves whoever wins the NFC North. I think everybody in the NFC North looks vulnerable. The Lions look vulnerable.
Yeah.
The Bears are vulnerable. The Packers are vulnerable. Like there is a legitimate case this year where whoever is in the second round, who's ever hosting, like the 1 seed will obviously host the divisional. On the other side of the conference, you may have a wild card team hosting a playoff game in the divisional. I genuinely believe that. I think Philly's going to lose in the first round. I think potentially you could have all 3 teams, all 3 division winners lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Oh, so you think you could have 3 wild card teams on to the next round?
I really think so. I really think so.
That would be crazy.
I honestly think so. Like, would it be crazy if Seattle walked into Carolina or Tampa?
No,
and beat
not
them?
at all.
No. Would it be crazy if Chicago or Detroit walked into Philly and beat them? No. Would it be crazy if, San Francisco, like any of these teams going into any of these division winners in the NFC and beating them? I don't think it's crazy at all.
Not at all.
I don't think it's crazy at all. I think the same with the NFC North. I think potentially whoever wins the NFC North could be losing a playoff game. Yeah. I love my Lions, but if we got to host Seattle, I don't feel great about that game.
I don't know if I trust them, though. You trust the Seahawks? I understand they just won a big game, but I'm not giving into the recency bias here.
I think they're so sound everywhere else. Like, I think Sam Darnold has done a fantastic job this year. And I think that they are so sound defensively that, I mean, it's the playoffs. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
We've seen it. However, I just think Seattle sound team. I think as long as Matthew Stafford's healthy, I think the LA Rams could easily punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. I don't care about what happened on Thursday Night Football.
100%.
I think Matthew Stafford's playing like the best quarterback in football right now. He's on. I think that defense is fucking stellar. I think that receiving core is really good. And once again, we're talking about another team that's going to have an early draft pick because they have the Falcons first round pick. So they're going to be right back in it next year.
They'll be right back in it for years to come if they don't miss on that pick.
Easily. So I think the NFC is just so interesting from that standpoint. I think when you look at the AFC on the other side, tomorrow you've got a great matchup in I guess that's going to be in Jacksonville, right? No, it's going to be in Denver. That's a great matchup. I think Denver is a team that everyone's waiting to see them lose. They don't lose. Does Jacksonville deliver that first loss we've seen from Denver in 11 weeks?
I hope so.
I think they're going to do it.
I think they could. I'll say this. I'll say this though. I think the Bills have kind of taken over as that team in the AFC. I know they're not the one seed. They're not even a division leader, but they've turned it on the past few weeks and have looked like maybe the best team in football. And given the Chiefs are out of the playoffs, I think it's definitely not a shoo-in because obviously if they're going somewhere, there's always that worry of the other team having home field advantage, but they look damn good right now.
The scary part about the Bills, and Facino, I want to hear your take on tomorrow's game in Denver. But the only thing I'll say about the Bills, that defense is really shaky. And we could say whatever we want.
The run.
We could say whatever we want about Josh Allen. I think if you get into a game, and it doesn't even have to be Josh Allen, if somebody on that offense makes a mistake, that could be a holding on a touchdown. That could be a fumble in the red zone. Whatever that is, it could be a special teams mistake. I think if somebody makes a mistake on the Bills, I think if you're a team playing the Bills, you look at it and you say, well, I just got to kill the clock. I just got to be a python, and I got to slowly strangle my prey. And that's it. Like, I don't think you have to outscore the Bills. As fiery as their offense is, as great as their offense is, I don't think you need to walk into that game and say, I need to score. Like, I think when you're playing the Rams, you got to score 40 to win that game. Like, I believe that. I think if you're playing the Bills, you could beat the Bills scoring 24 points.
Yeah.
Because that defense is just so bad, you could kill enough clock running the ball that it doesn't matter who they have on the other side. You know, you can't beat the clock. But Facino, we're 36 minutes in. This is a really big game tomorrow in Denver. Take us through it.
Yeah, I mean, they just have to win. They have to. There's no opportunity. You can't lose. You know, your people are starting to talk about you, and you've been playing really, really well. You got to go beat Denver, and then when you beat Denver, everyone will say, "Oh, wow, this is a top 5 team in the NFL." And then you have to act like it, and you got to win the next 2 games that are those are the games that you're supposed to win. And then if you can get to 13-4, the Chiefs can lose to the Ravens, the Broncos can lose to the Chargers. You can get the 1 seed. You got to win out, though. You got to beat Denver. You got to take Denver's confidence from them and see if they can lose to the Broncos the following week. I think they can do it. I think that people don't know what's coming with the Jaguars. They're running different plays every week. This team is really good. They force turnovers and they run a really, really solid offense. So it's about who has the most points at the end of the game. And if you're forcing turnovers and moving the football, you're usually going to end up at the most points. By the way, their kicker's unbelievable. So there's just these little aspects of winning that people forget about. Like we can kick a 60-yard field goal, no problem every time. We can move the ball every time. We don't have to worry about punting every going 3 and out 4 or 5 times in a game. We know that we're gonna force an interception or punch the ball out once or twice. Like we got all the fucking things that you need to do to win. We got everything. So
now let me ask you this: as a fantasy football player who's deep in the playoffs, I am stuck between Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert tomorrow, and obviously Trevor gave me a big game last week against the Jets.
Why don't you just start Shuck then?
I don't know if he's available. It's not a bad idea. But do you think I'm comfortable and safe starting Trevor Lawrence? Biasy aside.
Yeah, why not? It's Denver. He'll probably
That's not the answer I was looking for.
I mean,
Denver's a really
in the playoffs you want a guy that's going to score 25 points. I think Trevor's going to give you 18 to 20.
Denver's a really good defense. The Chargers are playing the Cowboys tomorrow. The Cowboys have not played good defensively. But Herbert is good for a mistake in the end of every game.
And he's playing really with one hand. I don't trust him with the hand. He's been winning games, but he hasn't been throwing the ball. So the only thing I'm afraid of is Denver's defense, but I don't know.
I think I'm with Facino. I think I'm with Facino.
Yeah, stick with him. Just ride it out. Okay, let's do it, baby.
I think the Chargers.
Let's jag the fuck off.
I'd say the Broncos have shown lapses on defense throughout the season. I mean, the Giants were able to pick apart that defense with the run game. And then the Jaguars, they do have a multifaceted offense. You know, they're not just throwing the ball. They're not looking to get to the outside. They have Brian Thomas who can work it on the outside. They have Jacoby Myers who you can move around the line of scrimmage. You can put him in the slot. You can even bring him outside. And then you could run 2 running back sets where you have Etienne and Tootin that can get the ball. So I think the Jags are going to be able to move the ball in this defense. They're good in fairly straightforward matchups, but when you have weapons that can do multiple things, it seems like they almost stumble over themselves. It's weird. And Lawrence has been using his legs a lot lately too. So I mean, you have that other aspect of the game where it's just going to be something that they can add to the arsenal that's going to keep them off balance. And Cohen has looked like the best coach in football this season, in my opinion. From game 1 to here, I think he's looked like the best coach in football, especially what he's gotten out of Trevor Lawrence. I think you took someone that looked like he was regressing in his career and maybe shouldn't be a starter anymore to now a top 10 quarterback in the league. And with Brian Thomas Jr. regressing and without another weapon on in the receiving core until you got Jacoby Myers. So I'm confident in what the Jaguars can do tomorrow.
Okay.
The only thing I'll say about the Denver Broncos is this. They've won every game by a very narrow margin. I mean, 33-32, 18-15, 10-7, 22-19, 27-26. So it's like a double-edged sword here. And I think the Denver Broncos defense is all about perspective. You could look at it through the perspective of they faltered. They've given up points to teams they shouldn't have. This resume is not the prettiest resume if we're looking at the Denver defense. All that being said, when you need them the most, they come through for you.
Yeah.
They may not always turn the ball over, but they get the stops that they need. Who's the pass rusher there? But no, not Batonio. That's the tackle. Nick Bonito, right? Yeah. Like, this is a guy that kind of came out of nowhere. Not that he came out of nowhere, but I don't think anybody expected him to have this impact this year, right? Anybody outside of the city of Denver, did you really expect this guy to be a household name throughout the NFL? Probably not. So, like, they have been the opposite of most other teams that you watch with a record of this stature, where they're either good the whole game or not. Like Denver kind of starts out every game kind of ugly, but they figure it out toward the end. And it's the same way with Bo Nix. I don't think Bo Nix is a great quarterback. I don't think Bo Nix is going to blow you away. But somehow, some way, this dude flips a switch in the fourth quarter and throws all over the field and becomes – it's similar to what we saw with Tim Tebow. It doesn't make sense. It probably shouldn't happen, but it happens every week. And I think Denver has had a weaker schedule. They played did they play the whole NFC South? No, but they've played the Cardinals. They've played the Saints. They played the Colts. They played the Titans, the Bengals. They played some bad teams. They played the Cowboys. They played the Giants.
The NFC East.
They played the Jets. And they haven't really blown anyone out, right? Like the games against the Raiders, they should have killed them, but they didn't. But yet they win. So I think kind of tread lightly when you talk about the Denver Broncos. Like, it doesn't make sense necessarily, but I think they're also, if you kind of put yourself in the psyche of the defensive players, they're probably putting a tremendous amount of pressure on themselves every week because they know Bo Nix is not going to score a bunch of points. They know this offense is not going to lead the way. So in their mind, we have to win the game every week. And I think eventually, and I think it's the same thing with Buffalo, I think Buffalo won't make it to a Super Bowl for this reason. Like, I think Buffalo's offense looks at it and says, we have to win this game this week because our defense can't. Our defense will not come through for us. We need to win this game. I think the Denver defense is looking at themselves this way. And that's why I think Facino, for example, here, I think you guys could lose this game tomorrow. And I think you could see them again in the divisional round and beat them. Like I don't think that this game, and I think the same way reversed. I think that you guys could beat them tomorrow and they could walk into Jacksonville or have you come to them and they'll beat the shit out of you the second time. I don't think this game is at all indicative of what a playoff scenario looks like between the two teams. However, it's vital for both of these teams. Denver is fighting for their opportunity to be the 1 seed, to lock up that game, to lock up that bye in the first round. If you're Jacksonville, you are fighting to inevitably walk away with the AFC South, win your first division in a long time. I think they're both equally important to these teams. I think I'm gonna take Denver here, but not by much. I don't like a 3.5 point spread. I understand why Vegas has the spread at 3.5, but I don't think I agree with it. I think this game should be a pick 'em. I think Jacksonville is a high-powered enough offense to throw off the Denver defense and to say, hey, you're not going to have another trick up your sleeve in the fourth quarter. This is it. We're gonna run away with this game. But it wouldn't surprise me if you look up at this game in the first quarter and it's 10-3 Jacksonville, and then you look up at this game in the fourth quarter and it's 31-28 Denver. Like that would not shock me. Denver has this way of just putting up points like that in a quarter. I mean, we saw the Giants
seen it.
33 points in a quarter. Now, I don't think the Giants are the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No.
Not at all. But it's been done before with this team, so nothing's going to surprise me. I think this is probably the best game of the 4 o'clock window tomorrow.
Agreed.
I think we're gonna mop them.
4 o'clock window.
I'll say this. The Broncos haven't lost since week 3, and all but 2 of their games have been decided by one score. And both of their losses were decided by 3 points or less. So if they lose, they're not going to lose by much. They're going to lose by a small
14.
margin. And I think it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a good game. I do think the Jags go in and win, though. I think the Jags are the more well-rounded team. I think that defense has gotten better over the season, and I think this is a different Jags team that we saw from week 1. I think Jacoby Myers has probably been the best receiver, at least in terms of how he's played for the Jaguars offense. I think Brian Thomas Jr. has been a letdown this year. Travis Hunter was showing a positive growth until his injury, and Trevor Lawrence has fallen in love with Jacoby Myers. So I think that he's gained a ton of confidence. I think they're going to come out and win tomorrow, or on Sunday rather.
I would love to see it. I hope so. I'm not going to lie. I think I just got talking to taking them plus 3.5. I don't hate that at all.
I think the Jaguars are winning by a lot.
I don't know about that, but
I'd even tease it. If you think they're going to win, I'd tease it to minus 2.5.
that's
You think
not a
they're
bad
gonna
idea.
win?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
A little plus odds, probably like plus 250.
Yeah, because they're only
Evan
plus
Woodback field
150
goal.
on the money line. I'll tell you right now, I got the book up. Hold on. Let's see.
Denver is going to be very upset on Sunday night.
I agree. And then what else do we got going on?
There's not a lot of good games this week, unfortunately.
No.
The only other good game
games
is
for the
Rams.
Giants. We got the Titans at home against the newly Mahomeless Chiefs. That's huge for us.
Gardner
And
Minshew
Yeah,
time.
for the pick. Yeah,
The
absolutely.
Raiders go into the Texans. Yeah, we want that pick to trade it to you guys, trade it to the Jets. Give us the 5, or I guess tomorrow it could become like the 8 or 9. You're playing who, the Saints?
Yeah, the Jets are in a must lose, of course.
The Jets are in a must lose. I mean, the more they win, the more they're gonna have to give up to go up to get Mendoza.
Do the Jets aren't going to win another game this calendar? I guess this calendar year, this year.
I'm rooting for you
Over.
guys to win. I
Jets
want
aren't
more
going to
picks.
win. We're going to do nothing with Brady Quinn, and it's going to be fine.
That's who's.
Yeah, Brady Quinn starting.
So,
What's it called though? Where'd it go? I just had it up.
Brutal.
I'm ready for
The
Giants.
Chargers Cowboys game interests me a little bit. I think that's going to be a better game than people are going to. I think people are going to look past it because I
What
know
time is that?
1 o'clock.
The 1 o'clock.
I know that the Cowboys got mathematically eliminated with their loss last week, I believe
Yeah.
it was.
Mhm.
But I do think they're still a frisky football team who they're still going to play. They're not like
Mhm.
trying to tank or anything. I think they're still going to go out there and play their hardest. and I think they're going to give the Chargers a little bit of help. I don't know. I know the Chargers have to kind of win and try to secure their spot and do what they got to do, especially because they're fighting tooth and nail against the Broncos. But I think the Cowboys are going to give them some problems.
I think the Cowboys
I agree.
go hard until
I think the Cowboys win that game. I don't really believe in the Chargers to win that game. I think the Cowboys flat out have a better offense than them, and Herbert's playing hurt. And while the Cowboys defense is not good, I think that where they are okay at is against the run. They can actually play against the run decently. It's not horrible. So, and you're kind of relying on that part of the offense to carry the load with Herbert being injured. So they can somewhat shut down the run. They can win the ball game. And I think there's just way too much firepower on offense between Dak, CD, George Pickens, and Javonte Williams.
And I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, but I think the Dallas defense is better than people are giving it credit for. I think they've improved.
Yeah, I think it's with the trades they've made with Quinnen Williams and then whoever the linebacker was,
Logan
Wilson from the Bengals. So it's helped with the run defense for sure. I mean, their secondary is still atrocious. They can't defend against the pass for shit, but against the run they can hold their own.
Yeah, they've improved dramatically, and I mean, this is something to kind of look ahead as we get into draft talk. But Cowboys have really set themselves up well.
I have
for the future,
unlike the Colts.
You know what though? I disagree. I think the Colts made the right decision. Like
Sauce is still a good player.
Sauce is a good player. Yeah, they overpaid. Well, we talked about this last week, me Pacino. They overpaid, but take a chance. Take a chance.
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't work out, and that sucks. You couldn't control that your quarterback was going to blow his Achilles. That can happen to literally any team.
Yeah.
You just watch Pat Mahomes tear his ACL. That looked like a pretty bad injury. Micah Parsons, there were 2 first rounds given up for him. He just blew his knee out. We're not going to see him till the earliest, I don't know, Thanksgiving next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know what, man? Good for teams for going out and making those trades. And you know what? Good on the Cowboys, because if you look at that Micah Parsons contract, and Micah's fantastic. He is a top 5 defensive player, maybe top 3 defensive player in the league. I'm not taking anything away from Micah, but to put that much money into only that guy, when you look at when you look at your opportunity of spreading it, and they were able to get Quinnen Williams, who's a top tier defensive tackle in the league, they could hypothetically use those draft picks to go up and get another edge rusher this draft, who they don't have to pay $48 million a year for. I think if you could criticize anything of the Cowboys, it's probably giving Dak that insane contract. Other than that,
but Dak has been playing really
Dak has been
well.
playing good,
Very
but
well.
the issue with Dak is that whenever this team plays January football, late December football, the man falls apart. That's just what it is. That's what history's shown us. He doesn't play well in the playoffs. He doesn't play well when they need him to. But Dak has put together a really good career for himself. For being a 4th round pick, just I think he's had a fantastic career.
100%.
If you look at his career in a vacuum,
That's not over.
I'm just saying overall. I mean, if the man was playing for the Arizona Cardinals, we'd probably
would be out of the league. Yeah.
No, I don't think so at all. No, I think we'd be talking a little higher. I think we naturally all hate the Cowboys. There's a bias against the Cowboys, and we like to shit on the Cowboys anytime we can. That's just I'll admit it. That's where I am. I fucking hate the Cowboys. So yeah.
We all know I do.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think the Cowboys win tomorrow or Sunday. Buccaneers, Panthers, low key, very interesting 1:00 game.
It's interesting, but I think it's going to be
Carolina.
a slop fest. I think it's going to be a slop fest. I think we've seen a lot of these NFC South games just turn into slop fest.
You think one team doesn't run away with this game early?
I think it's going to be a slop fest. I think both teams are going to be just begging to lose. I think that's what we're going to get. I think the NFC South is just in shambles. I don't think it feels like when one team looks to pull away, they just go and shit the bed. And you had it with the Buccaneers who were running away with that division. They got hurt, but then they just started playing bad football, regardless of whether they were hurt or not. And the Panthers were starting to run away with it, and then they came crashing and burning. And now we're at a point where it's tied up, I guess, and this game is gonna ultimately probably decide the division. I would say, but I don't know. I don't have any faith or any strong feelings towards one team or the other. I think the only thing I'd say is the Panthers or the Buccaneers are getting healthy. Mike Evans is going to be back and healthy, so maybe that helps them. But not one I'm going to be looking forward to watching much of, to be honest.
I'm going to take the Panthers here. They had a bad week last week against the Saints. I just don't see it with Tampa. I
Take
think
the under 45.5.
I think if Tampa was going to win this, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say that because they could back into winning this division. There's so much more talented than what we've seen. I know they've had injuries, but everyone's had injuries. I think the Todd Bowles defense is starting to show some warts. The lack of pass rush is there. I mean, this is a guy that he prides himself on, and rightfully so. He's run some great defenses in the NFL in an era where offense is king and the league and the rules all favor the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not anything against Todd Bowles' career, but I also think this is what Todd Bowles is. He's not a risk taker. He's a very much status quo. He's a better version of Jim Caldwell. That's what this guy is. And I think ultimately they're not going to make a change at head coach. But I think if you could bring in a guy with some balls, I think this would be a much, much more different team going forward. And it's just he hasn't lost enough to warrant him losing his job.
And he might lose the locker room. I mean, you saw those comments he made after last Sunday.
I would be very
Thursday,
surprised if he gets fired after what his tenure's been here.
It's tough to fire him, dude. He's above 500 on his career, and he's won the division the past 3 years in a row. I know it's not saying much because it's the NFC South, but still.
But I think we were looking at this Tampa team as a team that should have been a 1 seed because of how easy their schedule was. And they had injuries. But I mean, everyone's had injuries. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you.
Who's been injured though? I mean, Mike Evans and Bucky Irving. Chris Godwin, you can't expect much out of that after how much he's missed over the past few years.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans, you're good to miss a good four games a season with him with the constant lower body injuries.
Baker's playing hurt.
And Baker is playing hurt, but who isn't playing hurt? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a lazy argument. I think they're maybe not as talented as we thought they are. I think there are problems on the offensive line. I think there are problems on the defense, like Matt said. And I think a lot of problems come from the coach. When you have a coach publicly coming out and saying, well, the players got to play, they got to sometimes start showing up, there's a problem there. And then someone should be fired. It's as simple as that.
I don't see them doing that given the success
Maybe
that
not,
they've had. It would, and honestly, I was really surprised. And I think Bruce Arians gave the blessing of
Todd Bowles,
of Todd Bowles. But in my eyes, when I watched that team in the Brady era of Tampa Bay, as short-lived as it was, I genuinely thought Byron Leftwich was going to be the next head coach of that team.
That was the OC, right?
He was the OC. He was running the offense with Tom. I really thought that guy earned a spot, and I haven't. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what that guy's doing.
He doesn't have a job right now.
He did have a job though. He was a head coach, right? Or no?
No,
he was a head coach.
He was with the Steelers. No, he was their backup for a while.
He was their backup quarterback when we were kids. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think next year to potential Lions offensive coordinator candidates, I would love to bring in Byron Leftwich.
Yeah.
I think that guy was fantastic. And I think he was, I guess the only question with him is Bruce Arians is an offensive minded coach. So how much of it was Byron? How much of it was Bruce Arians?
Yeah.
Something I guess.
How much of it was Brady? Don't forget about that.
No. But before Brady, like when
Oh.
Jameis Winston was there, like
Yeah,
how much
yeah.
of it was Bruce? I don't really know.
Yeah.
And then a couple other games to look at here. San Francisco plays Indy Monday
San
night.
Francisco should crush them.
They should. I mean, I thought Seattle was going to beat the shit out of Indy last week, and that game came down to the very last second. Phil Rivers, I had them on the back TV on Red Zone. Phil, from what I
Held his
saw,
own.
looked a lot better than I thought he was going to look. I mean, at 44
Couldn't
years
drive the
old,
ball downfield.
huh?
Yeah, he's
He
going to
couldn't
get
drive the
embarrassed.
ball downfield.
He's going to get embarrassed this week.
Yeah, he couldn't drive
That'd
the
be
ball
really bad.
downfield. I think that was just the Seahawks trying to lose that game. To be honest, they came out flat in Indy. It did not look good. Philip Rivers can't throw the ball more than 30 yards down the field. They're going to be just handing the ball to Jonathan Taylor all day. And
Yeah, it could have been a look ahead game because now you saw they came out and they beat the Rams by 1. I don't know. I'm not going to close the door on Indy yet. I'm going to give them this week. I think you have to give them that. I mean, there's more to that team than just Daniel Jones and Sauce Gardner. The offensive line all year has looked fantastic. Those receivers, I mean, that entire receiving group has shown up.
no, they have 100%.
Like the tight end, is the tight end Pierce? No,
Tyler
that's the
Warren.
wide receiver. Tyler Warren. I mean, all those guys have shown up this year. They've looked really good. I kind of want it for the Colts. I really would like to see them get in the playoffs. Although they're another team that, like, who are you going to beat when you get there? Like, you're not going to beat Buffalo. You're not going to beat New England. You're not going to beat Denver. But
Jacksonville.
good for Indy. I mean, you gave your fan base a damn good team to watch for most of this year, and injuries suck. Injuries to the quarterback, like as bad. I mean, it just goes to show how important the quarterback is. Because I don't think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback, but he's clearly a step above what we all thought. He had a fantastic year, and you just see the drop off. I mean, it's honestly, if I were Indy, I don't even know that I would have signed Phil Rivers. I think I would have just came out in a Wildcat the rest of the year, and just
What about Anthony Richardson? He's there.
He's on IR.
Yeah, he
is
has
he?
an
Oh,
eye
okay,
issue.
Never mind.
dude. Even if Anthony Richardson,
He's not going to be in the league anymore issue. That's what he's got.
what's it? Does he have an off the field issue?
he sucks at football issue. Anthony
Oh
Richardson,
yeah, okay.
yeah.
That's what I was about to
That's
say.
what I was getting at.
Are we talking about the same thing here? Yeah,
Yeah,
Anthony Richardson's like probably the worst. Anthony Richardson,
He's trailing.
honestly,
Trailing.
is not far off of Nathan Peterman. This guy's bad. Like,
No,
he was
Anthony
bad in
Richardson
college.
is
He was
trailing.
really bad in
Yeah.
college, and he's bad in the NFL. And people just honestly, I think that some fans, like, not to get racy here, but I just got to call it the way I see it. I think some fans see a black dude at quarterback that's an athlete, and they just think like I guess we all thought this with Hendon Hooker. Like, you just see a guy throw a ball really far down the field, and he's got the ability to run, and you think, wow, this guy could be a dual threat quarterback. There's only one Lamar Jackson. Like, there's only one of those guys, right? Like,
there's only ever going to be one Mike Vick. Yeah.
there's only one Mike Vick. Like, those guys are really fucking good. And to put Anthony Richardson even in the same conversation, like, that's insane. Anthony Richardson was not an accurate passer. He was not terrible, but he was not a great, like, when you think of the guys,
He was a
He
product.
He was horrible.
when you think
That's
when
a
you think of
second
the
round
guys, when you think of the guys, he was not even a second round. He was drafted in the first, and he should have been a 7th round pick. He was terrible.
I think
When
if
you think
run
of the
a
guy-
4-4 and you can
at-
throw
at-
the ball 80 yards downfield, you maybe take a day 2 pick on him, but you shouldn't trade up to 4.
That's
to get
called
him.
Will Levis, and you get a nice contract with Hellman's Mayo, and that's
Yeah.
about it. That's all you get. You sell some ad space at your stadium. That's it. Like, Anthony, you think of the guys that have played at the University of Florida. Like, say what you want about Tim Tebow. The man was a fucking winner, and the man knew how to run the ball. Like, he knew how to run through people, He was damn good at that.
Couldn't throw the ball.
Anthony Richardson, my voice is cracked. That's embarrassing. Anthony Richardson couldn't even throw the ball in college. He was bad. So, no, I think that was a terrible pick. And I think this Colts resurgence has saved Chris Ballard's job for another year. But he's got to
Maybe
knock
Shane
another.
Steichen's job too.
But I don't think Shane Steichen's probably not the guy drafting. Like Chris Ballard's been the
Yeah.
one in charge of the draft for a long time.
Yeah.
He took the chance on Anthony Richardson. So, yeah. Like I said, if I'm running the Colts, I genuinely think I would have tried to run the Wildcat and just get, like when you're in December and you're trying to implement the quarterback, I don't care who that quarterback is. You could take any quarterback you want off the street. You could take Lamar Jackson. You could take Josh Allen away from Buffalo, and you could put him in Indy today, and it's not going to work. And it's not because Josh Allen's not good enough. It's because how does that guy learn the whole playbook? How does that happen? How does that guy gain a rapport with the offensive line, with the running backs, with the receivers he's throwing to? Like, how does all of that happen?
Joe
in a matter
Flacco
of
did
a
it on a
week?
short week earlier in the season.
But
with the
it
Bengals.
wasn't sustained. And
No, it wasn't
what I'm
sustained.
saying.
No,
if you're
yeah, I
Indy,
agree.
you had to win a few games to get into the playoffs. You were going to try to win a couple of playoff games, and I don't see how that was going to happen with Phil Rivers. But good for them, I guess, for trying something different, and credit to them for trading at the deadline. A couple other games here before we shut this down. You've got Ravens Patriots Sunday Night Football. That's in Baltimore. The Ravens are favorited by 3. I think that's kind of crazy.
Take the Patriots.
I'm taking the Patriots money line here. I like the Patriots. I think the Ravens' backs are against the wall. So in
Backs are
my
gonna get
in my
football.
mind,
Wow.
or rather in my heart, I think the Ravens win this game. But logically, I think the Patriots are the better team. And it's not.
I can't
they-
believe the Pats are as big as dogs as they are. They're like 3.5 point underdogs, right?
I mean, ESPN bet has them at 3. I don't know what
In
FanDuel-
Baltimore?
FanDuel is
Yeah,
at 2.5.
2.5,
It's in
okay.
Baltimore.
Yeah, Lamar's gonna have one of those awesome games. He's due. I think what's
Man.
funny for the Ravens is they're always so hot early and then they kind of fizzle a little bit into the playoffs. Maybe this is the week they start to get hot and then just carry it and actually get to the Super Bowl. Because it doesn't matter what their record is. They got Lamar, they got Derrick Henry in January. You don't want to fucking play them. You just don't want to play them.
I disagree. I think if I'm an AFC team in the wild card, I think that's the one team I want to see.
The Bills, the Chargers are frauds.
100%.
Throw in the
Yeah,
middle.
but if I mean, just think about this, right? If
If I'm the Ravens, I want to play the Texans.
I disagree.
I don't wanna play the
I think I don't want
That's
to.
the best defense in the NFL.
If you're a wild card team, right? Because the only way for an AFC North team to make the playoffs at this point is going to be to win the division. We're
Mhm.
talking Pittsburgh. We're talking Baltimore. You're looking at it from a wild card standpoint. The Chargers, Bills, Texans are the 3 wild card teams, and then you've got the Colts here on the outside looking in.
Mhm.
If you're the Texans, would you rather go to Jacksonville and play them a third time? Probably not.
No.
Would you want to go to Buffalo if they win the division?
No.
Would you want to go to New England if they win the division?
Texans are a one and done, dude.
I
Not
don't
if
know.
they
Depends
play
on who they
Baltimore.
play.
They're not. They
I
have
don't
a
think
good
so.
enough
If you're the Texans, do you want to go to Denver? Probably not.
That's probably where they want to go.
I think
Wow.
I think you want to play the Ravens or the Steelers.
No.
100%. I mean,
This
who
is
do you-
this is something. The Ravens, you want to play the Steelers, yes. You don't want to play the Ravens. You never want to
but
play.
what has Derrick Henry done this year that's shown you he's back in his prime?
I don't care what he's done. What I care about is that it's December 19th. If they beat the Patriots and they wind up beating the Steelers week 18 and winning the division, they have to be hot going into the playoffs. I know for a fact nobody wants to tackle Derrick Henry in January because he averages the most rushing yards per playoff game. He's going for 120 yards. He's going for 150 yards. Derrick Henry can run you
And how many
out of the
fumbles?
fucking stadium.
How many fumbles?
He hasn't fumbled since week 4, bro. He fumbled 2 games in a row. He's not fumbling. Derrick
I think
Henry's
he
a
fumbled
first
3 or 4
ballot.
games in a
He's
row.
a first ballot Hall
Yeah,
of Famer.
He
And
is.
when you have
He
that
is.
player in January, the Ravens can run the ball down your throat, even though they haven't done it yet. We know that they can.
Yeah.
So if they do, you're in really bad shape. And the Texans don't have either D tackle. They lost both their starting D tackles over the last 2 weeks. If I'm the Texans, I do not want to play the Ravens because I will get – they know exactly how to attack my defense. Is one chink in their armor, and it's up the middle. And the Ravens can run it up the middle and beat them. That's what I think, especially in a home atmosphere where the defense can catch some fucking wind from the crowd. I think that's a horrible matchup for the Texans. I would much rather go – I would rather play anybody outside of the Jaguars and the Ravens. Anybody else they can beat.
Their numbers are skewed because they've missed Lamar for a little while. They're 14th in the league in points. They're 24th on third down. They're 3rd in the league on rushing yards. They're 27th in passing. They're 19th in total yards. And then defensively, they're not great. They're not turning the ball over. They're not getting off the field. They are getting off the field on third down. They're 8th in the league, getting off the field on third down. They're giving up, they're giving up 22, 23. They're at 22-9. So they're giving up 23 points a game. That's middle of the pack. That's not bad. They're giving up a ton of passing yards. I don't know.
It's just going to be interesting, man.
If I'm an AFC team, I want to see whoever plays the AFC, whoever wins the AFC North. I don't want to go to Jacksonville. I don't want to go to New England. I don't want to go to Denver. And I definitely don't want to go to Buffalo.
I think there's only
Buffalo
3
wins.
teams that can get to the Super Bowl from the AFC. I think it's the
Bills,
and the
Bears,
Ravens.
dude. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. I think it's time.
No, I think that's wishful thinking.
I don't
they're
know.
too bad defensively.
I don't think it matters how bad they are defensively. I think the AFC. I think every single team has flaws. I think
Every team in the NFL has severe flaws.
and that's the thing. I think you can't say not any team won't make it to the playoff, the Super Bowl, or win the Super Bowl from the AFC because every team is going to have to play perfect to win their game to go on, or they're going to have to rely on their opponent to make more mistakes than them. I don't think any team can go out and just I don't think any team can kind of walk into a game and without being on their A game and just win any of these games in the playoffs. I think it's going to make for an exciting AFC playoff picture because it's going to be so unpredictable. I think you could see teams like, the Broncos. They've gone off to slow start. They get off in the playoffs. They get off to a slow start.
If you get off to a slow start, the game's
They're buried.
not over.
They're
But
fucking
yeah,
buried. They're buried. The Jaguars, they've been getting off to slow starts. They go off to a slow start. They're buried. Same with the Ravens, and they have other flaws. The Texans, they sometimes they cannot drive the ball offensively. And you know what? You turn around in the blink of an eye, the Bills, the Jaguars, the Broncos could be up 21-0 and you're fucking dead. The Bills, they go and stall out on a drive and a team goes and eats 14 minutes in the second quarter and then they put 7 points on the board. You're down 10-0 at half, and you barely touched the ball. You had no momentum. So the AFC playoff picture is, I think you might have your favorites, but it is wide open. I don't care. Seed 1 through 7 can run the table and win it. That's what I see with the AFC. I don't think there's a single team in the AFC that can't win it.
I think whoever wins the AFC North can't. I think the
Steelers can. I think the Steelers can. I think the Ravens.
I don't think the Ravens can. I think the Ravens are everyone's flawed, but I think Derrick Henry. I get what Facino had said, but I think Derrick Henry has hit a wall. I think we can kind of all see it. He's not the guy that we even saw last year. I think and listen, the Lions may lose to Pittsburgh tomorrow. Man, knock on wood. I hope they don't. But I don't think Pittsburgh is that competitive. Jacksonville is a wild card. I think Jacksonville can. There's a plausible way. I think everyone other than the AFC North winner and the Chargers can conceivably have a path to the Super Bowl, and none of us would be surprised. I just don't believe in the Chargers. I mean, quarterback's hurt, and they're not
Too many offensive line
they're-
injuries.
they're just not a consistent enough team, and it sucks. It sucks because this was definitely a year that the Chargers were looking to kind of show everyone that they were
Bitten
not
by
the
the
team
injury
that,
bug.
that we saw in the first week of the playoffs last year. Bass, I think what's getting in everyone's head with Buffalo is that there's no Mahomes and Lamar's not as great.
Yeah.
And the boogeyman's kind of gone, so there's a path. I get that, but I've seen it too many times before with my own team, and like when you can't stop that run up the middle, there's nothing you can do, and it's a slow death, and it hurts. And sure, Buffalo could go up. Buffalo could go up, but this is the NFL, and guys make mistakes, and you make one mistake. Like if you're like Buffalo, for Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl, they need to be perfect in 3 playoff games, and I just don't think that they will be. And that's ultimately what I'm telling you here. For Buffalo to do this, no one's got to fumble, no one's got to have an incomplete in the fourth quarter. Down 2 points, driving down the field. Like all of these things have to have the kicker has to make every single fucking kick he lines up in front of. There is no, if you're the kicker in Buffalo, there is no room for error. Okay, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much that wind is blowing in Denver. It doesn't matter how much that wind is blowing in New England. It doesn't matter if it's a torrential downpour in Jacksonville. If you're the kicker in Buffalo, you can't miss a kick. You can't. Like I think Jacksonville can miss 2 or 3 field goals against Buffalo and still beat them because I think they're good enough defensively.
Yeah.
And if the offense is in sync that day, they'll win. Like I think Buffalo needs to play perfect football for 3 weeks, and I think you'll see it week 1, right? Like I think if Buffalo, if New England wins the division and Buffalo is that 1 seed, it is the 1 wild card, and I think Buffalo's got to go to Baltimore or Pittsburgh. I think Buffalo beats the shit out of it. I think they can make plenty of mistakes against Pittsburgh or Baltimore, and they can beat them absolutely. But second round, you've got to go to Jacksonville. You've got to go to Denver. You've got to go to New England. Do you really? Honestly, I think if you're Buffalo,
You want to go to New England.
New England again because
You went into Foxborough. You weren't perfect, and you were able to beat them.
Right.
Josh Allen is the better quarterback. He's better than Drake May, and I think that game proved it.
Mhm.
I think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in football. I think Matthew Stafford's really the only one that rivals him at this moment in time, and I think it's kind of clear in a way why he is. He's able to come up clutch when
I think
other
a
quarterbacks
healthy
have
Joe
been.
Burrow is
And-
the best.
Yeah, but he's not
We
healthy
haven't
right
seen
now.
him. Yeah.
He's not healthy right now. So
Yeah.
that's my thing. Right now, in
Healthy
this
4 years.
exactly at this point, and well, he was healthy last year, but at this point, this moment in time, Josh Allen or Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in football, and Matt and Josh Allen in the playoffs is just a spectacle. He's a spectacle. He will lay it all out there.
And that's why I
No
think
one
it's
wins.
theirs. I think it's theirs
I
to
agree.
lose because I think he's going to show up. I know we're laughing at the thought of, oh, there's no boogeyman this year. I think that means a lot.
No, we're not laughing at it. It's a fact. Like who has knocked out Josh Allen every year?
Yes.
It's Baltimore or it's Kansas City. And I agree. I get that. But now there's a new boogeyman. Like there's Drake May and the Patriots, and they're good. They're really good.
But
Yeah,
we don't
man,
know what
they're good.
I
There-
understand they're
there's
good. You don't know how
Denver's-
they're going to look
and-
under the lights.
Denver. Oh, sure, we haven't seen it yet. I'll give you that. But everything we've seen so far, like everyone's clowning on New England's record, the record of teams they've played. Denver's had an easier schedule. If you look at Denver's record against teams they've played, Denver's had an easier schedule. Buffalo has ultimately had the same schedule that New England had. The only difference is that Buffalo has to play the Eagles, and I
They played
believe
the
New
Eagles. They
England
played the
played,
Chiefs.
New
They
England
played the
played the
Ravens.
Giants.
They played
Okay.
a healthy Ravens too. They played a healthy Ravens as well.
Right. Okay, fine, but I'm just saying. I think
Yeah.
okay. The boogeyman's gone, but like, I don't know, man. Buffalo has to play the tech. Like if it were to come to that, I guess Buffalo would today. They'd be hosting.
I take the Bills because I don't know if there's a run game there. I don't know if there's a run game in Denver. You know what, Travis Etienne, how much do you believe in him? I think the best running back in the AFC playoff picture right now is either Derrick Henry, who we do not believe in the Ravens, or Travion Henderson on the Patriots. and they just beat them when they weren't perfect. I
Mhm.
think it just goes to show you that this AFC playoff picture is going to be wide open, and I think any team can win it. Doesn't matter what seed you are. Doesn't matter you're
I
home,
think
you're away. I
what
think
this does show us is that it's going to be another year of whoever gets in from is going to win the Super Bowl. Whoever that, it's not guaranteed, but like name any of these teams: the Seahawks, the Rams, the Niners, maybe the Bears, the Lions. Like, do you trust an NFC team? Maybe you trust the Bills against these teams. Do you trust the Steelers or the Ravens? Do you trust the Chargers, the Bills? Maybe you trust the Bills, but do you trust the Texans? Like, I think whoever that NFC team is winning the Super Bowl. I think the NFC once again is a gauntlet. It's no one. There is no team that is like a step above everybody else in the NFC and the AFC for that matter. Like, I think the AFC is tighter than the records allow, but I think the NFC is just like every fucking team in the playoff picture is good. Like, outside of the NFC South, I think the Rams are damn good. The Niners are damn good. The Packers are still good. The Bears, the Eagles, like, as much as they're all flawed, Detroit, they're all flawed, but like, if any of those teams plays at their best, I don't think an AFC team at their best beats them. And maybe the only AFC team at their best that beats them, there's two teams I think I could think of, and that's the Bills and the Broncos. Like, the Broncos at their very best might be the best team in football, and that's just how good I think that defense can be. And I think the Bills at their very best, you can create an argument, could beat anybody because Josh Allen is that good. Outside of that, there's nobody in the AFC that's like that intimidating. Everyone's got clear flaws, clear flaws. And the NFC's got flaws too. Don't get me wrong, but there's always something else, like you look at the Bears and okay, you can poke holes in Caleb, but Ben Johnson's proven to be a damn good coach. That Bears defense has looked really good. That Bears offensive line has turned it around. Detroit's defense has been inconsistent, right? I mean, there's injuries across the board, similar to Tampa's offense. However, Detroit's offense is the number one offense in football. And this is going to be the first year, if Detroit doesn't make the playoffs and their offense stays at number one, this is going to be the first time we've ever seen the number one offense in the NFL not make the playoffs in the wild card era, I believe. And that's insane. That's fucking insane. Just a testament to how bad that defense is. Just to close up here, let's get into Steelers-Lions. That's a 4:25 game Sunday. The Lions are 7-point favorites. I don't know that I love that spread.
The Steelers have been kind of shit on the road, 3-3, and that team leaves a lot to be desired for, to be honest.
I gotta plug this laptop in. I'm at 22. Who do we think wins this game Sunday?
Me, I think it's the Lions. I think the Lions going.
I think the Steelers are cover.
Yeah, you think the Steelers are cover? 7 and 7? 7.5?
7.5. Yeah, I like 7.5.
Oh, it's a flat 7. So I
it?
don't know. I don't know if they do.
I think it's going to be a close game. No offense, man. Lions have been playing kind of like dog shit down the stretch. I wouldn't say dog shit, but not.
They've been inconsistent.
They've
been inconsistent.
Yeah.
1 week. They've literally gone win-loss since Halloween.
But the good news is, coming off of a loss, they're perfect against us. I'm going to eat these words. I take it back. They're not going to cover the spread. Goff is perfect. He can get the spread off of a loss, I believe the stat is. And I think they understand how important these types of games are. So, I mean.
I don't think they lose. I mean, at home against a crappy Steelers team, there's not much to say. The Steelers don't do anything tremendous. Their defense is terrible in the secondary. They can stop the run, but when you can throw the ball downfield like the Lions can, they can throw it all over the field, and your secondary can't cover for shit. it's not going to look good. And then, how much stock do we put in Aaron Rodgers having a good game? I mean, the guy is 44 years old. Hasn't looked great
He
this
does
season.
like to kill the Lions, though.
He does like to kill the Lions, but
they've had their way with him the past
Couple of years, yeah.
Maybe just the last time.
Yeah,
The last
yeah.
two times.
The last when they beat him at Lambeau.
Yeah, and then
right
they
before
beat him
the
in
come up.
Detroit. They beat him in Detroit, whatever it was, 6-7 weeks before that. I think the Lions win this game. I don't know about covering the spread. They have to win this game. If they don't, they're dead. So they need to be perfect down the stretch. They've got the Steelers, the Vikings, and then the Bears. They've got the Vikings on Christmas Day, 4:30.
Mhm.
And then as of right now, their slate is to play 1:00 against the Bears.
Mhm. Let's see what
Week
that gets
18.
flexed
I
to.
think that's going to stay
Okay.
because the Packers, unless the Packers lose, if the Packers lose tomorrow and they lose, I think regardless, because it's going to be relevant. So I think they may keep the Lions and the Bears and the Packers Vikings all at 1:00 because all those games implicate each other week 18. I highly doubt you would have the two NFC North games both in the 4:00 window. So, and they don't want to have a letdown. So I think they'll probably end up just keeping us all in the 1:00, which is better. So, I hope the Lions win tomorrow. Sunday. Yeah, I keep thinking we're on Saturday here. We're on Friday.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right. Well, we had a good showing for this show here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We much appreciate it. Going to be a fluctuating schedule with Christmas and then New Year's.
Yeah.
We're definitely not getting a Christmas Eve show. I'm hosting Christmas Eve at the house.
Same.
Fun.
So I doubt Christmas Day either. So what we might have next week is day after Christmas. I don't know availability. I believe I'm definitely taking off work. So day after Christmas, December 26th, could have a show. But until then, stay tuned to the socials. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Until then, let's go Lions.
Go Lions.